a multidisciplinary lawyer. She's a multidisciplinary lawyer. She's well published in the legal space and owns House of Livingstone, a content creation brand. She's multi-certified in areas of IP law and ADR, and is an alumni of the IP Institute of Nigeria. Moduoluwa is preoccupied with eliminating the societal depth of legal knowledge by proliferating legal content such that no one has an excuse. She has worked in private practice, legal publishing, and co-founded a law firm. She currently works in public service as a prosecutor and mediator. So over to you, Moduoluwa. When I hear this your name, first person that comes to my mind is Mojuma Konjola. That very long time presenter. I don't know why I always think about her. Along with Miss but those two, I'll never forget them. So over to you.
I remember.
You do.
Thank you, Glory. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak here today. Good evening, everyone. My co-speakers and
Okay, Moduoluwa, can you start your video so we can spotlight you?
Oh, you want me to show my face?
Yes.
No! I'm not prepared to show my face.
Oh, well, you can go on. Fine.
Okay. So can you turn off the video for me, or am I supposed to turn it off somehow?
Okay, I've already spotlighted you. Can go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so
okay. Thank you. Sorry, okay.
I'm still getting requests to start my video.
Okay, you don't want to know, fine. You can go on.
Yes, so like I was saying, I'm grateful to be here today. So I'm just going to share my own experience. I hope that someone will learn from it. I think I was, let me start by saying that, okay, I was called in November. The year that I was called, I'll just start from a little story. The year that I think I've told it, a few times, so maybe some people would have heard it before. But the year that I was called, let's say I was called November 28th. So by that's November 28, 29, 30, then December 1st, 2nd. By December 3rd, it was a Sunday, the Sunday after I was called, actually. 2 Sundays after I was called. I'd already reported to a law firm because I had to go serve and all of that. And then my principal calls me and is like, oh, how are you? Congratulations on your call to bar. Come to work on Monday. Make sure you bring your wig and now we are going to court. I was shocked because I did not expect that it would start, immediately. Well, I went to work the next Monday and my principal showed up in mufti. So apparently I was supposed to go to court on my own. So he comes, he gives me the file and he says, okay, this is the file. This is what you're going to do. So just go to court and do this. And he sent me off to court. Okay, he actually took me to court, dropped me and left. So I was left, by myself. I looked through the file. Apparently it was trial. The matter was already going on. And then our witness was to be cross-examined. So I was just to take notes for the cross-examination. Are we with me? Am I audible? Let me be sure I'm not talking to myself. Yes.
Yes.
I was supposed to take cross-examination. Through, trying to remember everything I've learned about examination and all of that. And well, to cut the long story short, the registrar came and told us that the judge would not be sitting because she had a sore throat. So the matter did not go and the court did not sit. So I did not appear that day. Glory to Jesus. Not really because, glory to Jesus. But, I was, I'm just trying to say that you could think that, oh, I've been called to the bar. I would begin in taking baby steps. And then you could go into a firm where, they would eat you with a surprise and you have to start almost immediately. Of course, after that, my principal kept sending me to the court, on my own. There was a day, the next time he sent me, I think I went to take a judgment, a ruling on no case submission. And the real thing with that particular firm was that you would have no idea of what you will be doing the next day. So you literally just get to work, and then they will tell you, oh, you're going to cut today. This is the file. And then you have to start reading it that morning. So what I did after a while was that when I got to work, I tried to look through my principal's diary. It was a one-man firm. So, it's different when you're in a structured firm and, you have practice groups and you have like maybe the head of the group or somebody that's taking you through, prepping you for trial or prepping you for the next day or the next week's work. So I would go through my principal's diary and then I would go and ask him, sir, we're having this matter tomorrow. What is this matter for? And then he would try to talk, because my principal at the time also doubled as a politician. So he hardly had time. So I had to go out of my way to ensure that, we were prepared for court, because, the buck would be lying on me at the end of the day. But eventually, anyway, when I discovered that that was going to be the trend and there wasn't going to be much of a difference, since it was NYSC, I just applied, to be moved to another firm. And that's what happened. So I got to another firm, and then it was like a very busy firm as well, and then went on and on like that. So I'd say that if you're in your first year of practice, it can be pretty overwhelming, because I know that I think the first thing you need to convince yourself of is that you're now a lawyer. You know that the decision in Babalola and the Registrar of Supreme Court says that we're already lawyers from law school once we are practicing for that first year. So essentially, by the time you get to your first year of practice, it's like, assume that that's your second year. So it might be quite daunting for you to come to realization that, oh, I'm now a lawyer. Like, people's lives literally depend on me now. Like, if people come to you for briefs, they expect you to deliver excellence. And I think that's the same thing that, principals and law firms are requiring. Sadly, it's not something that we get to learn much of, the practical aspect in law school. So I think one thing you need to do is convince yourself, because you might go through a stage. I went through a stage of denial, a stage where I kept telling myself, oh, I'm just attached to a law firm. They're responsible. Or I'll just follow their cue. Or I'm not responsible for anything that happens. I'll just get my pay at the end of the month. But that's not a good place to be. So you need to convince yourself that you're a lawyer and you're in charge now, and that people's lives actually depend on you. And I think that's the first step towards, starting to chart a great course for yourself as a lawyer. So you need to understand that once you're called to the bar, you are now a lawyer in your own right. Say it to yourself. If you don't believe it in your mind, say it until you believe it and act towards it. Now, how do you act towards? I would say that, I said that I was in a state of denial for a while. It was so bad that I didn't get my seal until how many years later? Like, I just told myself, in fact, people would be calling me for briefs that, oh, can you do this, relations, family? And I would be telling them, oh, go and give it to that, my friend. Oh, I can do it, but I'm not here now. The good thing was I didn't serve in my own town or something. So it was like a valid excuse for me to just tell them, I'm not around. If you want to send it over, it's going to take too long. It's going to be expensive. Just give it to someone around, I kept on denying. I didn't get my seal. I would say that, oh, I'll sign my principal's name on the letters. I'll put my principal's seal on the processes. But what I've realized is that while I was doing that, a lot of my colleagues had their seal, had already, like, they hit the ground running. So I think that's a very important place for you to be. Like, you cannot shy away from the fact that you're a lawyer. People will call you baby lawyer, but in your heart of hearts that a lawyer is a lawyer. I don't know if we've read the case of Ghana versus Gemma. In that case, a junior lawyer went to court and withdrew the election petition on behalf of his firm. Apparently, I don't know what went wrong. Maybe the principal gave the wrong instructions or the junior got it wrong. But apparently, he was supposed to go and withdraw a motion in the election petition. But he went before the court and withdrew the entire petition. So the case was struck out. So the principal had to now go back to court appeal for the case to be reinstituted, saying that he did not instruct the junior to withdraw the entire case, but just a motion. And then what happened? The appeal court held that whatever the junior did was binding on the firm. So the court would take it as the firm did whatever the junior did. And so the case was struck out. So I know that you and I can imagine what happened to the junior afterwards. So that's to say that once you are called to the bar, you are a lawyer, very well in your rights, just like your principal, just like the senior associate in your firm. So you should not be like me and go into a state of denial. You should not, try to shy away from work, from briefs, and you should not try to say maybe you're hiding under. You should not say you're hiding under your firm and then do shoddy work, or think that, whatever you do is not binding on you and you can always get away with it. You're already a lawyer in your right. So you should go into law practice with that. That's one. Then another thing I'd like to share is that one thing that I did that worked for me, I said that I transferred to another firm. One thing I did was that I tried to do everything I was asked to do. And I think that's important. Sometimes you don't know the implication of what you're doing until much later when you see how much it has helped you. So if you're told to go file a process, let's say your firm does not have a litigation secretary, I think you should go and file it, because what happens tomorrow, you could open your own firm and you're still trying to put things in place and you have to go to the registry. So you will understand by going to file how to liaise with registrars. We all know that, this our judiciary, our legal system rather, rises and falls on the registry, because those people are the most powerful people on earth as far as our law practice is concerned. So when you go file processes, if you're asked to, you will learn how to liaise with registrars, how to, get on their good side, and, how to make sure that, you cover all grounds regarding filing of processes and all of that. So if you're told to draft a letter, go on and draft it. You might not know jack about drafting a letter, but don't just say, I don't know, or I won't do. What you should do is probably Google something, go read your law school notes, go to your law school group. I think that works effectively. It worked for me, it works for a lot of my colleagues. We have a very viable law school group. You go there, you ask questions. Who has done this? Who has a sample for this? Who can help me with this? People will respond. They respond on my group anyway. I don't know about your own law school group. And then you can get this sample draft textbook. There's an e-copy that's readily available. I know that a viewer on my YouTube channel was asking me questions, back and forth, emailing me, I would respond. Oh, what kind of motion is this? I'll respond. What is this? I'll respond. And then one day he was asking me for samples of certain motions. I just sent him the sample draft. He sends me mails blessing me and blessing me and blessing, because I know that sample draft will make a difference. I know that many of the things in the sample draft, they are not exactly the way they are in practice. But once you're able to just make little adjustments, it works very well. So if you're asked to draft a process, for instance, your principal might say that, okay, draft this written address for me. You might not know.
But you need to start rounding up. Sorry, you need to start rounding up.
So you might not know the next name about written address, but have a go at it. Try it. And then give him or her whatever you have at the end of the day. And then that's a way to start. And then that's how you also start planning your bragging rights. In the future, when you're talking amongst your colleagues and they're like, oh, written address, this and that, you'll be able to say that, oh, I've done it before. So I think the important things that I've said is that you have to, once you're called to the bar, you have to understand that you're a lawyer. And so you need to hit the ground running. And the next thing I've said is that, don't reject tasks. Do what you can. You won't be able to do everything, but do what you can. So it will help you. And then let me add before I finish that, do not undermine yourself. You would go to court and people will say, baby lawyer, junior lawyer, seniors will try to bully you, to look down on you. Don't allow yourself to be rattled. Do your best, hold your own fort, hold your own in court, and it will get better. Practice after practice, things will get better. I think it's very important. So those are the things that I'd like to share because I'm constrained by time. So, and for litigators, I think the easiest cheat code if you're going to a new jurisdiction is to get the rules of court. Study the rules of court and then go to court early. When you sit in court for like 20, 30 minutes and 3-4 people announce their appearances and they do their own matters, you will learn the language of the court, the tone, the body language of the court. You will learn the disposition of the court. When it's your turn, it will be easy for you to do. So we learn by practice and we learn by watching in this profession. So I think those are things that can work for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mojooluwa. That was a nice delivery. Key points. You learn by watching, you learn by practice. That's just it. That's just it. Thank you so very much. I believe you guys got value. If you have any questions, just type it at the chat box. When we are done, then we can entertain questions, right? So the next guest speaker we'll be calling upon is Stanley Omoto. Let me quickly share his profile so you guys get to see. Yes. Okay, no worries. Stanley Omoto is an LLM candidate at the University of British Columbia, Canada. He graduated with first class, both at the Nigerian Law School and Delta State University, Nigeria, thereby becoming the pioneer male to achieve such feats. Prior to his master's program at UBC, he practiced law at leading commercial law firms in Nigeria, including Bawo and Ikadolo and Babalaki & Co. I can't pronounce that. So welcome. The floor is yours.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. Sorry, my voice is a little bit, it might not be as sharp as Moju's voice. And I'm just basically waking up